Dear daughter, you're little now, and as you grow, I hope to instill in you the idea that you don't have to let other people's labels of you limit you. You don't have to let a viewpoint that someone has of you be the person that you show up as, the person that you think of yourself as, or the person that you are. If you're a parent and you have any stories of how you overcame cruel things that people or a person said to you growing up, I'd love if you shared, because I think as we go through life and as our kids go through life, there are going to be occasions where they hear some cruel stuff said to them and about them, and that can be very consuming for a young kid. My goal is to teach my daughter how to navigate that and to show her she doesn't need to carry those negative labels. Figuring this out was a huge game changer in my life. When I was growing up as a kid, some of the adults in my life used to call me a dumb blonde, ditzy, say I wasn't that smart, and I believed them for a long time. Believing those labels about myself caused me to show up as that person. So in this weird way, especially whenever I was around those people, I'd double down on being the person I thought they expected me to be. In this strange way, I didn't want to disappoint them by acting smart. It took me a lot of years of reflecting and really getting to know who I am to realize, wait a minute, I don't have to let these people's words be the person I think of myself as and be the person I show up as. So I started telling myself, even though I didn't believe it at first, I am smart, I am capable, I am independent. And it took me telling myself this almost every day before I started to believe it, but I stuck with it and I did start believing it about myself. And I actually realized I can decide who I want to be. I'd even eventually talk to some of these adults in my life and say, why would you say those cruel things about me to me, especially as a kid? Did you think you were being funny? What was that about? And that was something that was actually, it was hard to do, to have these uncomfortable conversations. But oh man, I'm proud of myself for doing it, because quite frankly, I believe someone needed to sort of constructively call them out. Moving forward, they did make a sincere effort to do better. Here's the thing about those negative labels that I used to carry around with me. I got attention from them. And that was very confusing when I was a kid and a teenager. I got attention from playing into acting ditzy, acting like the dumb blonde. The attention wasn't good attention. It wasn't the kind of attention I'd ever wish upon anyone, but it was attention. And it was very alluring. It took time and effort and it was uncomfortable. That's the most surprising thing. It was uncomfortable to stop myself in moments of spending time with these people when there was a perfect opportunity for me to respond to something in a ditzy way. So yeah, it took some time and adjusting and discomfort to show up as me. And now, truly, I think the last thing those people would describe me as is ditzy and not that smart. And you know what, though? Even if they did continue to, that's their prerogative. You don't have to let people's labels attach to you. You don't have to let them stick to you. You can take that label and go, no, that's not for me. Rip it up, throw it away. Not for me. If someone's saying something cruel to you that's hurtful, there are a few different reasons that might be happening. Perhaps they may be saying these things to try and give you constructive feedback. Like, I used to speak really loudly in public areas when I was having a private conversation. So feedback that I received was, would you mind turning the volume down a bit when we're talking about something private in public because I don't want other people to hear. That's constructive feedback. That's not the best example, but it's the first one that came to my head. That's like constructive feedback. Oh, okay, I didn't realize I talk so loudly. Yes, that's something that I can make an effort to work on. So in some cases, people might be sharing words that could be interpreted as cruel with good intentions. There are other times people say cruel things because they might be really unhappy with themselves on the inside, and the fastest way to take that bad feeling away from them is if they say something mean to someone else. Even though in many cases that can be a mean, wrong thing to do, you really take their power away when you don't let it affect you. You have the choice to decide how you're going to receive that information and how you're going to move forward. You really do. You don't have to, even though it can be tough, you don't have to let someone else's words limit you. You don't have to let someone else's words hurt you or bring you down. You can decide to go, that's just your opinion. You can decide to go, okay, I'll consider that and move forward. As you grow up, I hope to lead by example and show you that the way we speak to ourselves matters. And we should really love ourselves and be our own best friends. Sometimes you give your best friend feedback with the best of intentions, even if it might be hard to hear. You'd also, with your best friend, share kind, supportive, encouraging words to them and treat them with love and respect. One of the easiest ways to do that is to write out who you are and who you want to be. Make it a routine to remind yourself of all of the wonderful qualities about you, because there are a lot, and knowing those about yourself is going to help you show up in the world that way and concrete in you that if anyone says something mean about you, that's just their opinion. So my hope in sharing this video, and my hope as your mom and as you grow up, is that I can save you some of that confusion and nonsense in teaching you and showing you that you really can decide to not let the labels people might put on you limit you and hold you down. So there you go. Oh, one more thing. The light in you, kiddo, it brightens my entire day. Tell me some things that are great about you.
Number one, I'm silly.
You are silly.
I'm a good painter. And number three, I practice hard.
You practice hard?
Yes.
That's true.
I'm also friendly.
You are friendly.
I love you, Mommy.
I love you too, little one.
Let's go to Daddy.
Okay.